In this video, I'm gonna bring you through some of my biggest takeaways after reading The Everything Store on how Jeff Bezos went from nothing to building one of the largest market cap companies in the world, Amazon, making him the wealthiest human being in the world. I'm gonna be bringing you through some of the big takeaways from this amazing biography on Jeff Bezos on how he built an empire. One of the biggest takeaways that comes to mind, just diving right in, is the constant focus on the long term, right? Jeff Bezos put a stake in the ground as he was scaling Amazon and did what most business owners don't do, right? Most business owners go into business with their survival needs top of mind, thinking to themselves, how can I make a paycheck next week, next month? How can I reach my sales goals this month, in the next 3 months, etc.? And it's a very short-term focus of thinking. Jeff Bezos, however, one of the common threads throughout this book, when you listen to the letters to the shareholders as they read through each of them in the book, you realize that he was constantly focused on the long term, right? Constantly thinking, what investments can we make today that will have an impact 3 years from today, right? So that you see throughout the whole book, but it's not enough to think long term. This is the second big takeaway. The second big takeaway is that you also have to invest long term, right? So it's not enough to think, oh, all these things we could do in the future. You got to part ways with money in order to really invest in your future. And there are certain parts in Amazon's growth trajectory where, they were losing hundreds of millions of dollars a year. There was a couple of years where they lost billions of dollars, and he still kept investing in the future, right? And he kept basically telling the investors in Amazon, like, listen, you can sell your stock right now if you don't agree with me, focusing and investing in the long term, right? So investing in the long term looks like looking at the trends. Like, this is one of the third takeaway I want to give you, which ties into the investing, which is takeaway 2, is there's one key thing that Jeff Bezos got right. And it was a combination of 2 things in one. He married a trend with product market fit. Okay, so think about this. The internet was growing in usage, I think 240,000% year over year. That's how fast people were adopting and using the internet. So Jeff Bezos saw that as a trend, and he found what's called product market fit, right? Market being this crazy surge in usage of the internet, and the product being, he went through an actual project with himself and listed out all the different available products that he could sell on Amazon's website. And he eventually said, man, I could find some great product market fit here by selling books on my e-commerce website, Amazon.com, right? And the reason he chose books is because there's like hundreds of thousands of book titles at the time, right? And he can actually offer value to people by letting them shop for all their favorite books in one place, because historically the largest bookstores could only hold 1/10 of what Amazon.com as a website could host as their available selection on their website. So there was clear product market fit. He was solving a real need for people who wanted to buy books, because they didn't have to go to Barnes & Noble or Borders Books anymore. They were able to go online and get access to 10 times as many books in one place, right? So, but this wouldn't have worked if he were to start it like right now, right? Beyond 2020, right? Because the trend combined, the trend of the internet growing 240,000% year over year, that trend combined with the product market fit is what made Amazon go viral, okay? The next takeaway I want to share with you is the importance of PR. As Amazon was scaling, because of the mix of their trend that they capitalized on and product market fit, as the company was scaling, they constantly focused on getting PR, right? Now, they got lucky 2 times with their PR. They got featured on the homepage of yahoo.com, and they got another big main feature on a very popular website 2 times. But all the rest of the times that they got their name out, they were spending millions of dollars on PR. Millions of dollars on PR to get their name out there. They got so creative with their PR strategies. They found all of these books They found all of these, they call them intermediary sites. These are websites that led to people shopping on Amazon.com. So they found, like, for example, the most popular skiing website, right? And they had articles on, you know, where to go skiing, how to ski. And then they embedded links into these articles and basically drove people from a blog post on skiing to Amazon.com's inventory of skiing books, right? Of the link. And I just found that so interesting how creative they got in their PR strategy. So that's another huge takeaway. Another takeaway is the importance of debt, right? The importance of taking debt. If you believe in your vision, if you believe in your mission, you should go into debt for it, right? If you don't believe in your vision, you should not go into debt for it, right? And Amazon and Jeff Bezos constantly had this trend, this unstoppable trend of going into debt, getting a ton of loans out. Getting a ton of loans. They got tons of investors in Amazon, you know, through multiple stages throughout their growth process. And the reason is for the next takeaway was the belief called the get big fast belief, right? So Jeff Bezos was known, as they were scaling Amazon, his battle cry throughout the company was get big fast. And the reason is because he knew he was competing against Borders Books and Barnes & Noble, and eventually later down the road he was competing with Walmart and eBay. He believed, whether this is true or not, he believed that the key answer was going big rapidly, really fast, so that he could get a form of a platform effect for his business to where tons of people were using it. And so he could be a first mover in the online shopping space. He wanted to own the word online shopping, or e-commerce essentially. So when eBay started blowing up, he started getting worried that eBay was owning the online shopping space, and he quadrupled down on making sure that Amazon would be the one company that walked away with an everlasting long-term brand in the internet space for online shopping. So I look at that as a huge takeaway. Which is the next takeaway that I wanted to share, is own your space, right? Don't be number 2, don't be number 3. Think, what word share, as Vern Harnish, author of Scaling Up, who I've interviewed, says, what word share do I want to own in my market? What word share do I want to own in my market? IKEA, for example, DIY furniture, right? They want to own that word in the furniture market. Similarly, Google, they want to own search, right? It's one word. Amazon, they want to own online shopping, right? Or e-commerce, right? What word do you want to dominate in your market, and will you spend what it takes to become the number 1 brand in whatever your word share is that you want to own in your marketplace? Because Amazon did, and it paid off massive dividends. The last thing I just want to leave this video off on is the word bold. Throughout the book, The Everything Store, the word bold is used again and again and again and again, right? The word bold is so powerful because bold is what most people miss, right? Taking bold action for your vision. And all of the things that I just shared, you know, dominating your brand, making huge investments, everything that I just shared comes down to, are you willing to be the most bold person in your industry or your space? If not, you should go work for someone who is willing to be the most bold person in your space, because you're probably going to go a lot further. So that's all I got to share. My name is Bill Hauser, CEO of the SMB Team, one of the fastest growing marketing companies in the United States. We specialize in multiple different service-based verticals, primarily law firms. But again, I'm just here to serve you. I got nothing to sell. Click that subscribe button below if you want more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay great.